Scott. And I'm Art. You'll be proud of me. I've been doing agentic programming for the past 48 hours, thanks to Odie taking the time to onboard me.
Cool. Using Gemini or Claude or
I
Codex?
got Codex with ChatGPT 5.5. Yeah.
Yeah, 5.5 is supposed to be pretty good. 5.3 or is it 5.4 now? It's probably faster. Codex is probably faster for code writing, but I'm thinking it does as well in inference and stuff. Lord, I don't cry no more. Don't look to the sky no more. Amen. So what have you learned?
I learned that there's a lot to learn. How about that?
Yeah, there's a ton to learn, and it keeps changing. And there's new tools every day.
Like I immediately want to be a quarterback. It's overwhelming because there's so many things, there's so many ideas that I have about how to quarterback the development of what I'm trying to deliver. That, like you said, there's so many tools. How do I do this? There's so many tools, and it's easy to just get overwhelmed because what's interesting is like I didn't go to bed until like damn near midnight last night because now I feel like I don't know, this whole agentic development feels like an RMS game where I'm trying to figure out how to manage the resources at my disposal and see the output of my commands as soon as possible. And I'm forced to wait, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, you said like an RTS game?
Yeah, what did I say? RTM? Or I don't know what I said.
Yeah.
Real-time strategy. But like, look at the page. Look at the page that it overhauled. Like, I overhauled this community profile page yesterday, and I don't know. It's cool that I could ask GPT to give me like 4 design proposals for a specific page, and then it'll give me it'll generate the concept of those pages, what it would look like, and I'm like, yeah, I like this one, but also like this other one. Can you give me the best of both worlds? And then it generates me a new image for a page layout, and I'm like, yeah, I like that. And then I'm like, all right, let's build it. And then it'll start building it. And then I spend like the next 3 hours not 3 hours, but I spend the next at least hour and a half trying to get that page to look exactly what it proposed. So.
Yeah, with like web development, it can actually you can use something called Agent Browser and have it do it. And there might even be an MCP for the emulator where you could just give it access to it. It can take screenshots and figure out what it needs to correct.
Oh yeah, when I was with Odie, it launched the Android emulator, and then it started clicking around and exercising the user interface. But it was consuming hella tokens doing it, because I think it was talking to the ADB. I assume the ADB is probably a command line interface for doing things on the Android emulator. But yeah, man, I'm trying to get this thing out.
Sent you a link.
Okay.
Yeah. In the chat. When you said that, it reminded me of an RTS. I thought you'd get a kick out of that one.
Oh shoot! I didn't even do that.
Is that music coming from yours every once in a while?
No.
What is that? Smooth jams.
That's you.
It's me? What the hell?
Yeah.
I might have listened to something else connected to me.
Probably. I don't hear anything. Oh,
What the hell is that from?
I'm sharing. Hold up. Let me see something. If I pause,
I hear
do you
like
still hear it?
do do
Do you hear
do
it now?
do do do.
Do
I
you hear
hear
it
it
now?
now. Now, none.
Yeah, it was coming from my cell phone.
Now,
No, you still hear it?
none. Now,
No, that's not me. I don't know.
none. What the hell is that from
You want
then?
you want me to mute myself?
I wonder if my you know what? My wife's phone's probably connected to my phone. She's probably playing a damn or my headphones. She's probably playing a game.
No.
How do I gotta go tell her to turn this Bluetooth off 1 second. It's driving me nuts. Many men, many men wish death upon me.
I don't cry no more. I don't look to the
Don't
sky
look to the
no
sky no
more.
more.
Have
Have
mercy
mercy
on.
on me. Many men.
What has you singing that song?
I don't know. It's the song that I woke up with this morning in my head. I don't know why. Probably because I'm getting rolled up on all the time and shot at.
Can I? Why can I not add a folder? Why do I? Hold up. I don't have the option to add a folder. No, it's dumb. What am I doing? Okay, I'm confused. I'm trying to add. Oh, do I just add it up here?
Many men. What are you trying to
I'm
do?
confused. I'm, I'm trying to add these skills to my solution, but I don't know if I add it at the solution level or at a project level. Like Odie set up. Where's open file? Odie had advised me to create this .agents directory
Mm-hmm.
in my client project.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said create a skills directory. And then he said for for each then I don't know why, but he told me to create a folder for each skill and then place a file inside that folder.
Yeah, doesn't can Codex just create those skills for you? That's what I
I don't
usually
know,
do.
probably,
I
but
just
now I'm
well,
trying to
with Plot I do.
so but I don't see in here. I don't know. I'm confused. Like, do I even need this in here? And if I do, is it reading the same file? I don't know. If I type in agents.md, which I thought I did, it only finds one file, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean it's safe for me to add my skill files in here too? Hold up. So if I say
Well, that's in
skills,
your solution items. So you have you added the folder yet?
if I say plan.md, hold up. Okay. Yeah, I guess we're good. Okay. Yeah, we're good. Never mind. How do I stop presenting? How's everything with you? Oh, you sent me a
It
link.
was a shitty week. Yeah.
Well, because you're back from vacation.
Ah,
The
yeah.
agent orchestrator you've trained for. Watch your agents come alive in an RTS game interface. Track and summon agents and sub agents. Command them and manage their life cycle with the intuitive interface you know and love. Watch demo. Let me share my screen. Hold on. My name is Scott. I'm on the block.
I don't know if you ever played Warcraft 3, but I think that's what this is based on. Warcraft
No.
2, maybe.
When I was a machinist, the people I worked for or worked with, they were obsessed with. Is there a StarCraft 2? Or I know there's
Yeah.
Warcraft. Okay.
Yeah, StarCraft.
This was
StarCraft
like
2.
this is like more than 20 years ago.
Yeah, that would probably be StarCraft. It's like literally someone made them run around in a virtual environment, and that's how you manage your agents.
Oh,
It's nothing too revolutionary, but when you said that it feels like an RTS game, I'm like, yeah, that's kind of reminds me of that.
why are you exhausted?
Oh, I don't know. Oh shit!
I keep waking up at I keep waking up at 2, 3 in the morning for like the past 5 days, and I can't go back to sleep.
Yeah, no, I don't know if I'm exhausted, but I'm not coming back from vacation. I was on like the brink of burnout beforehand, and I didn't recognize it until it was right up on me. And then when coming back, it was just like, ugh. Dude, you know what though? I have a new fear in the world of AI like stuff. Because I think that the industry might move to spec-driven development where where you write out these really complex document specs and then the agents work off of those. It freaks me out because I suck at reading and it's a big friggin' wall of
This
text.
this is what I
And
forecast.
I'm
I
screwed.
didn't mean I didn't mean to cut you off. This is what I
Mhm.
forecast. All right. Like I'm chauvinist, but yeah, sorry. Okay, so women got into the software tech industry. The vast majority of them wasn't through engineering. It was through the agile movement, and they became scrum masters. And somehow they wiggled their way into a position where they call everybody into a meeting and they ask them what their status is, and then they tell them what their priority is. Right? That's regardless of the definition of scrum masters. That's how women got into the software industry because they love to communicate, they love to talk, and that's what they do. So like 80% of the jobs that I've worked have had scrum masters with women that haven't really been programmed. Now that I mentioned it, almost none of the scrum masters that I've worked with, men or women, have actually ever built software. But anyways, I say that as a pretext because now I could only imagine because now I'm learning or I'm trying to appreciate the productivity of dictating to codecs, and the agent just does its thing. And so it's now like it went from like typing on the keyboard, communicating, to now just having casual conversation about what you need. And then the AI tooling is so good with the dictation tools that it's removing your and all your other um, brain farts, that I totally see women now being the new developers where they're the ultimate vibe coders. It went from like hot tub, like Twitter videos and YouTube stuff, all that streaming stuff. So now they're just going to be just live streaming themselves, dictating and building apps and making hella money. And now you and I are doomed because we don't look good and we can't live stream ourselves dictating anymore. They're going to be wearing bikinis in a hot tub, dictating to codecs and all these other tools. And that's what I forecast because
that's a ways off. I don't know that there's any. I don't know if there's any sort of gender differences there, but I can see.
With the first example I said about how women entered the tech space by
I mean, there are women in the tech space that aren't Scrum Masters, and
but what percentage? It's extremely low.
And the original programmers were female, like it was a female profession until it got. I don't remember what happened.
Yeah, she coined the term bug for. I think she was in the Navy or whatever, or worked for the Navy.
Yeah, Grace Hopper. Yeah, and then
it's amazing.
Yeah, there were a ton of them, but. Yeah, Grace Hopper.
Yeah, but
Ada Lovelace was the original, the OG programmer.
Women are like black people. They're extremely low percentage when it comes to the tech industry in regards to engineering.
Yeah, well, you know what's a really low percentage is when I look at the clinic that my wife works at. There's exactly one male in the entire organization, and it's the owner.
Yeah.
Every other one female. I keep telling you need to hire more males because it's all women, and nobody gives a fucking two bats of an eye about that. So
of course not. And and the argument is
whatever.
Yeah.
There are people in tech, is what I say. There's people in tech. It's if there's women who are interested in it and want to do it and do it, great. If there's men to do it, want to do it, great. And whatever it shakes out is going to be a product not of this stupid, it's full of sexism bullshit. It's
that's the consequence.
What you're interested in.
That's the consequence. It's the same paradigm of when countries let in devout people of their religion that come from a distant land because they're looking for opportunities. Well, all of a sudden the dynamics change. All of a sudden, the Me Too movement, all of a sudden, the barrier for the standards and the barrier for those standards are now revisited. When you open the floodgates for a different culture, you have to be prepared to accept the terms and conditions for how the current culture is going to adopt. Right, so that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't.
Same thing with the police department. Same thing with everything. I think when you have to be very careful how you provide constructive feedback, everything changes. Right, you can rip me to shreds, and I may not like what you said, but I could reason and say, you know what? It's about the code base, and even though you didn't say the code, you said your code. At the end of the day, it's something I could learn from. But I don't think everybody's really defaulted and wired to reason about the motivation. I think a lot of people just put their feelings first, and that's how they maneuver through everything, including tech. So that's hard.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know that there's any sort of change in culture you have to do, but it's really not that hard to not be a creep around female developers or whatever. I don't know. Well, I don't have any sort of prejudice there about that thing. I do get it does drive me nuts about women in tech though, the entire concept of it. The moment there's a women in bricklaying, then I'll be like, okay, there's probably something there. But the women in tech movement, the whole idea of some sort of organizer that it's special is just stupid. It's no, you're just in tech. That's what you do. It's your interest. It's what you want to work on. Great. You're just like me. We don't have a men in tech. Why? Whatever. And then they get into it's unique challenges because male-dominated field and they're creeps. It's like, no, like the majority of people aren't creeps. You like might meet someone, and you can meet a really bad female too. It's like there's people who are dumb.
You don't remember? Okay, here's an example.
Yeah.
Does it sound familiar? Like several years ago, maybe it was like 8 years ago. Like there's like a Microsoft conference, and I think it was during the pandemic. Well, the pandemic was like 5 or 6 years ago, and it was that whole movement of attaching your personal pronouns, and like it was. I could probably pull up a video of it where they were introducing themselves, and their personal pronouns is he and him. And does that sound familiar at all? I can try to bring it up on YouTube.
I mean, that was like a flash in the pan that HRs were trying to do, but
yeah, but that was in tech. Why? How did that seep into tech that we cared about personal pronouns?
HR.
How? No. A surge of females entering the market and changing the dynamics. That's my argument.
It's HR.
I'm about to find it for you. Okay.
HR. It's 100% HR.
I'm about to find it for you.
HR is also a female-dominated industry too.
Yeah, but
dude, I'm listening to this book, Dungeon Crawler Carl, and in book 3, they're in this place and they meet this person who's head of HR, and they describe him so perfectly. Like when they just do the description over it, like I don't know, HR, I don't even care if you call it people ops or whatever, as a lot of companies are getting away from HR because it's got such a bad connotation. The entire concept to me, I just hate. I get why they're needed. And from like, if I was the owner, I would want one because it's about protecting me. But I hate how they don't come out and just say that they're part of management. They're not, they should call them something like ownership asset shields or something like that. Or like something that indicates they're not here for humans. They're here to make sure that people don't harm the company. It's a protection thing. It's not a for you. The biggest lie any HR person says is like, I'm here for you. That's not why they're here. They're here for, unless they're speaking to the owners or the company or the board. So, but I knew I had this moment in my career, the like very first day that I started my career as a professional developer, where I realized HR is a problem. And it was because we were in this thing, and this lady was given this presentation, HR, like first day one, and she was talking about their policy about being on time and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, well, if you get stuck by a train and do not call and let us know you're going to be 1 minute late, yeah, we fired people. And she just had this giddy like look of enjoyment or pleasure on her face. And I was like, that is a sick thing. Like, you're dealing with people's livelihoods and they're a minute late because the train runs through town and there's no way to get around it. And maybe their cell phone's out or something. You don't have any sort of empathy for that person. Now, chronic being late, yeah, I can see that. But not like, oh, I didn't call because I was a minute late because the train. Like that, the way that she described and the pleasure that I saw in her voice about firing people because they were late was incomprehensible to me, and set the mood for the rest of my life of HR is really not a friendly thing. It's probably the most destructive and most annoying and most painful part about being in any sort of organization. That being said, if I'm on the other side of ownership, yeah, you want one, because employees are crazy. There's a lot of bad employees, and you need HR to shield, but they're not there for you, and you got to be sober as shit about that. So, sorry, I'll end my HR tirade.
No, I get it. I can't find it. I could have sworn it was Microsoft. I'll find it. over the weekend, and then it'll support my argument, and then you can say.
Yeah, there was. I remember there was one story about guys talking about, like, they were at a Python conference. I think, and they got canceled because they were talking about, I don't know if I think they were just having a side conversation that was like a dude's conversation about the attractiveness of women, which should be allowed to happen as long as you're not calling someone specific out and like degrading them or something in front of people. Like, come on, men find women attractive. What's so fucking wrong with that?
What's this one right here?
Kind of riled up about that now. I don't know why. HR.
Let me see. Let me share my screen.
Many, 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 many men wish death upon me.
So, do you hear the audio?
Oh, this isn't a tech conference. This is a socialist convention. There's another one recently too in Canada.
You seen this already?
Yeah, isn't it like point of privilege? I need to ask that comrades keep their voices minimum to support those of us who are. Yeah.
You hear the audio?
No. Yeah, and she kind of looks annoyed by all the points of order. Point of privilege.
Oh,
comrades. Lord, I don't cry no more. Don't look to the sky no more.
How about now?
If we want to defeat capitalism, we are going to need a party that will organize working people to fight for the demands that we want and to win socialism. Thank you so much.
Right.
Quick point of privilege. Quick point of personal privilege.
Yes.
Guys, first of all, James Jackson, Sacramento.
Can we not use gendered words?
To a minimum. I'm one of the people who's very, very prone to sensory overload. There's a lot of whispering and chatter going on. It's making it very difficult for me to focus. Please, can we just, I know we're all fresh and ready to go, but can we please just keep the chatter to a minimum? It's affecting my ability to focus. Thank you.
Thank you, comrade. Okay, is there a speaker against name, chapter, pronoun?
Point of personal privilege.
Yes.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
That guy is. I just assume he looks like that guy from that Warcraft thing where he's like, I don't know, man. I have no love for the socialist movement.
Yeah, I won't die on the hill. I'm just saying that testosterone levels have plummeted as a consequence, and people care more about their words and other people's feelings than actually delivering on the needs of business. So that's it. I'm ready to move on.
Have you tried using the agents for things that aren't coding yet? Like Claude Cowork or anything like that?
I shared that link with you. The state of Florida is going after I told you, like, predators are going to start generating like content that they perceive as victimless. I told you that like 5 months ago.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, it's good. There's definitely a problem there. That's why they're supposed to be about safety, right? And that's why Elon Musk is suing the shit out of them. Lord, I don't cry. Why does that song stuck in my head? I don't look to the sky no more.
Yeah, what did you did you rip my business plan apart? Because you're trying to convince me.
I looked through it.
I keep iterating on it. I just spent the last 2 hours this morning iterating on it. But yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, no, I mean the reason I would looked at that is like, if you have paying customers, that's like what every single like entrepreneur podcast and everything I've ever heard of is like, if you can reach that point, you've found something. And that's like it's gold. It's if you can get paying customers.
Yeah, but how many? And I had paying customers 2 years ago. So I could take ownership and say that maybe I didn't execute ideally, but I mean, I had paying customers when 12 years ago I wrote an app called Quote Builder, and it took inputs of supplies that someone needed for a job, and it generated a business quote. And I made $300 off of that. I actually made more than that, probably 500. So yeah, I mean, out of 8 billion people, you can find a couple people that will buy something from you.
Yeah, but
it doesn't mean it's a good idea.
Still, like, you shut stuff down for the most part, and you're still getting phone calls.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. It seems like there's a market. Like, the question is that you would have to have asked is, why did you go to me and not to a beach vendor, like a vendor on the beach? And if you can get the answer to that, and there's something behind it that is something that many people want, and it is. If it's like, well, I just didn't know, or something like that, then that's a different story.
That's fair, and that's an okay side hustle, because even the number that I was using, which is a Google phone, that no longer exists. So it looks like they went above and beyond to get my number when the primary number failed. So that's fair. But the thing is it's higher maintenance of physical logistics, right?
Yeah.
A physical human being has to be involved, has to orchestrate, and has to manage security of various facets. And it's just high overhead versus just building a software system or a platform that's hands off, and you just let the community on that platform create content for it, and then market it, or even market it for other people's content. That just seems like it's a lot easier, and it's not as physical for me, the creator of the platform.
Sure, but here's the two things I'd say is, one, physical stuff is a moat because most people don't want to handle it.
What does moat mean?
Okay, so when you build a business, it doesn't stand. It literally is it's an analogy or a metaphor.
Okay.
It's like you build a business and you say, well, what can storm that business and take it over and put me out of business?
Yep.
Things that have a moat means that that's not easy to do. It's literally the castle moat idea. You can't storm the castle because there's a moat.
Yeah, with that said, my thought process is it's the first to market, just like Facebook. You know how many clones of Facebook? You know how many clones of Twitter?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. You have to build your customer base, and a customer base and brand loyalty can be a moat. But if you're starting right now with AI and it's a pure software product, there is no moat. Like, anybody can build what you build in a weekend.
Yeah, but no, they can't.
With enough tokens. With enough tokens, they can. Anyone, like a single developer, I could build what you're wanting to build.
Maybe the people that work at Anthropic or these high performing AI studios, yeah, but people that are under I would argue, the 90th percentile, they're not going to build it in the weekend. They're not. If you look at the scope, they're not going to build that in the weekend.
If it's making money, people will build it.
I agree, but people started building Facebook clones. It didn't matter. Who are they? What app? People don't know. They don't care. Same thing with Instagram. It's something that's a new concept, a new paradigm, more or less, and it's first adopters, and it has a network effect. I'm okay with being wrong, but I'm pretty confident that when you're the first to market and you do it well, and it feels like a polished product or close to finish, like, people aren't going to like hop off and go to something else.
Like MySpace?
Okay, so let's talk about MySpace. MySpace came out, it had like was it 500 million users at one time?
That was
Not
massive.
sure.
And Tom was
Yeah.
friends with everyone.
Yeah, I actually like that. Because
That guy does photography now. Like
he was sitting down with a white T-shirt. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, he cashed out and did it. But the thing is, Facebook had a special in because it focused on like you had to have a university thing at first, and it built that base up being a like, and I think it was like the relationship statuses and things like that was where they really innovated on to gain their market share. But you know, it's I don't know. So explain, like, I looked over things and I saw the viral marketing and all that, but so the idea is that it's pre-canned to-do lists, essentially. I mean,
it's a very, very highly optimized, glorified to-do list. Yes.
Yeah, which there's a ton of. So it's like I have a harder time seeing the path to domination with it, but I mean, could be wrong though. I mean,
so all right.
Yeah, I think there will be as many like problems with paying and all that stuff too. Just you don't have the physical inventory to deal with.
So here's what. Well, first let me address the first item. It's at the basic foundation. It's a to-do list that someone can go through within a workflow of task items that are organized under ordered phases. All right, so we're clear on that, right? So that's basically what it is. But it's a to-do list that scales and that sells, meaning it scales because the roadmap is to have multiple people operating off of that to-do list. And let's call that to-do list a SOP, which is what is that, standard operating procedure?
Standard operating procedure.
Yeah. And so standard operating procedures tend to have value because they tend to reduce risk and increase a higher probability of a successful outcome, which everybody's interested in if they have their time and money invested in delivering something for somebody else. Would that be fair?
Yeah. I mean, that's why there's a bunch of standard operating procedure software.
Yeah. All right. So your argument is, so what, Scott? It's still a glorified to-do list. Anybody could build it. Yes, they could. The question is, with the amount of features that this glorified to-do list has, that reduces risk, increases people's success, and also that is designed to make people money, and people that refer this standard operating procedure to accomplish something useful, for them to make money off of it as well. So you have a platform to have people that aren't even involved with creating a to-do list refer to people that have a problem and they need guidance. And when people purchase that standard operating procedure to help them deliver an outcome, a favorable outcome, then other people get paid as well for referring or for sharing that information that resulted in helping somebody. That was so valuable that they bought it.
Yeah,
they bought the manual.
So you need to make sure. Execution can do a lot.
You're selling a manual. Let's call it a manual, right? People create manuals for everything. A manual for amusement parks to get the best out of it for the 6 hours that you're there. A manual for a photo shoot or a film set. A manual for people that perform mobile field services, such as phlebotomists that drive to homes and draw people's blood and just to transport that blood to a lab to it scales across all industries, because across all industries things have gotten refined so much in regards to the process of doing something that generates value that there's a manual for it.
Yeah,
that's
you're building a platform, for things, which platforms are can be better than point solutions if you can execute on them. Although point solutions can be considerably better if you can do something and do one thing extremely well. On that theme park one, have you thought about going hard into that and just doing that? I mean, as to prove out the features and such.
Yep. So this is what I was going to. This is my plan. There's hella features on here, right? But my plan is, I'm interested in the growth hack. So my plan is to figure out who are the major influencers of teaching people how to do things in whatever industries, whatever sectors of those industries. Who are the leaders? And to go ahead and figure out how to get their standard operating procedures or their workflows for how to do something, get it into that app without them even knowing. Okay. For people that just got the latest iPhone Fold that provides how to configure it for whatever needs, to the people that get the latest video camera for cinematic shoots, to people that whatever it is, right? Figure out who has the tens of thousands or millions of people. Take a whole bunch of workflows that can be found or that they share, put it into this platform. Once I have all that in there, test it, reach out to that person and say, hey, I have this platform that I think will be useful and that you could benefit from financially. By the way, when you download it, it has all of your workflows in it, all your manuals of how to do things. And the only thing you really need to do is likely make some minor tweaks to it and upload your profile image. All the work is done. That's it.
So your biggest competitor would be is literally ChatGPT and Claude. Like, I can just go to them and ask them how to do 90% of things now.
Not while you're on the move.
Yeah, I can. I use voice dictation.
Now while you're on the move, and they're not going to provide you a interface where you check off things with swipe gestures. It don't. And I appreciate you raising these.
I can use my voice.
Well, you could raise your voice, but one is you have to be connected to the internet. That's one. Two is there's use cases where a to-do list isn't necessarily for one individual, but it's a group of people that are trying to accomplish an objective. And so that doesn't scale, right? Which is another selling point for this platform. Three is there's the affiliate program where people can share this stuff.
Yeah.
Four is yes, it generated it for you, but that answer doesn't have established reputation from consumers of it. Meaning, there's no thumbs up that you can observe saying that there's 100,000 people that liked this GPT or Gemini response to your question. That doesn't exist. People want something that's tried and proven that they have that other people have used themselves and were successful with.
Yeah, it's YouTube University.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you looked at the business proposal, I know it was big and fat, but there's an orientation video. There's a video for each phase of the workflow that's optional. So yeah. Oh no,
prove me wrong, man. Prove me wrong.
I've done a lot of research, and obviously, maybe it's my own echo chamber, but I'm convinced that this will generate passive income. I've built applications in the past that have generated money that probably should have never generated money, to be honest. But it has. And people ask for support. People ask for more features. And so, and those apps, even though it took me a long time because I was trying to understand what it means to build a mobile app, and I was trying to figure out how to generate business proposals just rudimentary without really having all the data information that we have 20 years later, hence today. People bought it, and it was the best that people, I won't say the best, but people chose to use it based on the options that were out there or lack of.
Yeah,
so
I think the market like 12, 15 years ago is different than it was now. But like I said, I don't need to try to dissuade you, because I'm just trying to say, like, there's I don't know that I see the thing, but hey, man, prove it wrong though. Get it out there. Yeah. Ship it. Yeah. That'll prove it all. But like, I guess
the other part, here's the other monetization is report generation. A business proposal is the same as a report, except it has a sign at the bottom line, and it may have a button for receiving a deposit, right? That report by default will have the branding of this platform, but it can also, for a fee, be white labeled and have the branding of the service provider or the organization. It'll make them stand out more in front of their clients. Because here's the other selling point is when you're offering to do something for somebody and there's a significant amount of money that's on the line, most people want to see a plan. They want to see a spec for how this is going to be delivered. How you are before you collect the full amount of money that I'm prepared to give to you. I the customer, want to have confidence that you dotted your I's and crossed your T's about how this is going to be delivered, what the edge cases are, how those edge cases are addressed, and what is your plan from start to finish, from phase 1 to phase end. And I want to review that plan before I sign off and I give you my hard-earned money. That's another selling point. It forces or strongly encourages users of this platform that want to help others to provide proof or documentation on how they're going to execute this workflow. And it provides an opportunity for that to be reviewed by whoever they share it with, and then refined, and then a decision is made, signed off, and then the transaction can go through. Like it's passive, it's guaranteed passive income. It may not scale to the level that I think it will scale to, but it's passive income. That's money coming into my account that isn't here right now. And honestly, I think that's the best idea I've come up with so far. My idea. I'm sure other people have better ideas, but
well, what's an MVP look like for you then? What's what would you ship, or what are you gonna ship? But I would say one thing that you'd suffer from is like you go deep into features and scope creep, and it takes a long time to ship. And like the game of if I've learned anything from the game of entrepreneurship that I've not engaged in but I've seen, is that every one of these is you move fast to market even if the thing isn't great, because the one thing you need is validation, and you need a feedback loop, because the feedback loop informs what you actually need. Like, you can dream all you want about the things, but you could build this and it could go in a direction you don't even think about,
It
but
did
you
already.
need that feedback loop. Yeah.
If just the roadmap alone is a consequence of realizations and pivots. So
yeah, but you need real customers to drive those.
I understand that. So Eric Rees, The Lean Startup, I'm aware of his book. I read it.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I'm not taking that approach. My approach is the following. I am building a mobile platform in a way that the components of that platform can be decoupled enough that they can support future ambitions, right? Future tools. So the answer to your question is the client mobile app, which is going to execute the workflows that supports offline workflow execution. So that's one. That's one feature. The report generation, generating a report for the schedule, generating a report for a phase, generating a report for the entire workflow. There's probably a dozen different reports that I'm also including that as a feature for the MVP. The web application for actually producing workflows instead of having to type it into your mobile phone. That's part of the MVP. Whether someone can load an Excel file or whatever else, it automatically generates the workflows. I'm working on that's part of the MVP. The affiliate program is part of the MVP. What else?
I think you could kill the affiliate program for MVP, though.
No, I need a growth hack.
Well, yeah, but the growth hack has to come after you validate the idea. That's the thing is, and I know you're saying that you're not doing the lean startup approach, but there's a reason why lean startup works, is because the thing that you need is a feedback loop, customers, and validation. And you could spend a lot of time building all of these features, and then you burn out on it, you ship it, and then it's a dud. And now you've wasted a lot of time. Or what you could do is build the minimum set, find a customer who's willing to pay for something, or just willing to use it.
I agree with you, but I'm thinking past that. Okay, so let me fill in some more voids.
No, I get it. I see the.
I don't think you do. I don't. Hear me out.
It's all there.
Hear me out. You're missing the long-term strategy, right? One is, okay, if you know me, I like to say I want to kill as many birds with one stone as possible, right? So you build a mobile app, right? Even if that, or a platform, even if that platform fails, I want the UX to be so good that I can have a convincing website consulting firm that has that as part of its portfolio. And I can actually have all the different features presented as a whole bunch of different products that my consulting company has built, so that I can earn customers or clients. That's something that I'm also very considerate of. And so
but you're hedging against there, like against something, against failure, and you don't know that it's going to fail, and that, like, you need to get it out is the thing you need to do. It's just the short and skinny of it is, you want to be first to market.
I agree with you. So I know that I'm comparing apples to oranges, and we're going to agree to disagree, Sean. I understand what you're saying is logical. It is. It is. But I'm already convinced that maybe your argument is, Scott, maybe you should put it out there so that you get some revenue or passive income so that you can support the rest of the development of features. That's a fair argument.
It's actually not for that reason at all, though. It's to find a customer that you can use them to drive what actually needs to be built. Because there's like, whenever we build products, we make all sorts of assumptions about what people need, and until
I am the customer.
Can't.
That's the point. I bought all this camera equipment and I don't know how to use it. I am the customer. That's the reason why I built it. It wasn't like, oh, let me imagine a problem to solve for other people that I don't have. That's not the case.
Well, then I would say is that your solution then is to find someone who knows how to use it and go and talk to them and build it for them. Like, say, what would make sense to you? What do you need here? If you were going to teach me, and then get them as your first and pay them on the platform to do that. And then if you can be successful with it, then go out and market that. Look, I learned a lot from this, or I did this, and then you can proceed. But then your customer at that point in time isn't the end user. It's the like you said, the affiliate network or whatever. It's the people who have the knowledge and want to share it, and maybe want to cash in on it before AI just does it for everyone. So, but yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm wary right now of pure software products because I think the pure software products the market's going to be extremely saturated. It already is getting that way, but it will get worse, I think. So even with the network effect and stuff like that, if somebody takes the approach of finding customers and builds it out, it's going to be, and that's actually the biggest problem with tech, with software engineers, is that we have the ability to use AI effectively because we know that, and it's because it's not good enough to do it well yet. It's not enough to be on its own. Like, you need to have some tech to build. But
yeah, well, if that's the case,
people.
If that's the case, how come we don't have 10,000 cloud platforms that compete with Azure and AWS? Like Google Cloud Platform doesn't compete with Azure or AWS. You say it's a physical part, right?
Yeah, that's the thing, is it's hard to set up. There's a hard problem that is tied to the software. It's not the software; it's the hard problem tied to the software, which is maintaining large data centers and dealing with reliability in that.
Well, I'm sure Rackspace could have competed with AWS and Azure, but they're not, and they're
in slightly different verticals. So that you've got cloud platforms besides the big three. I mean, you've got Microsoft, AWS, and then to a lesser extent Google Cloud. And those are your big three enterprise level ones. But you have a whole suite of ones that are below that, like DigitalOcean, and was it although I think they shut down Versa, or they shut down one of the other ones, Heroku maybe, and Linode before it
let's use another one, and I think it's going to result in the same argument to validate what you just said is the hardware. I was going to say Netflix, but it's the same argument. Still requires the hardware.
Well, it's that, but it's actually probably more licensing deals that.
WhatsApp. Yeah, there's Telegram. Like that, you still have these platforms that have a huge base, and those people aren't just going to be. Even if there's 10,000 WhatsApp clones, they're not going to leave. And that's my argument. And the question is, why won't they leave? Because they don't have a reason to. Just because there's 10,000 more apps that came after it doesn't mean that they're just, okay, let me drop it. Why? Because it's already familiar to them and it does exactly what they need it to do.
Yeah, but I think that the thing is that was because they established their customer base. It's the stickiness, because you have, in order to use WhatsApp generally, right, you need people that are on WhatsApp on both sides. It's a two-sided marketplace. Two-sided marketplaces are extremely hard to build. But WhatsApp came along and said, we are offering free phone calls. And that was revolutionary at the time. It's not revolutionary anymore, I think. But the thing is that, yeah, you've got this double-sided marketplace where now if you're going to build a competitor, you've got two sides to go. It's the same thing like this company TCG Player. I'm pretty sure I could go out and build a card marketplace platform, but to get both buyers and sellers on that platform would be extremely difficult. So it's existing customer bases are a moat, and stickiness are a moat to certain software, but it's not an end all. I mean, but I don't know. I think that there's like pure software products are going to be a hard thing to do if you're not, providing some physical tie nowadays. It's like I said, AI is just changing the game of this whole world.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you haven't gone after like an AI empowered startup yet, because that's where all the money is still right now.
I mean,
you can get into A16Z speed run.
So hear me out. What about this? Let's assume that I accept your guidance and I start building out these features in isolation into their own individual tools. And then once I'm done with all the features, I deprecate all those tools or apps. And the next time they download it, it just refers them to the mothership app platform. What about that idea?
I mean, that's fine. Your mothership is fine too. The thing is all I'm saying is find a customer.
Yeah.
Find a customer. Find someone who's not you, who wants to use it, and solve their problem. Whatever problem that they've got that this solves, solve it for them in a way that is undeniable.
Yeah. So let's assume that I do that. I take the mobile platform and I fragment it into separate tools, and I'm getting feedback. I'm addressing tickets, and then I build into each of those apps a pending deprecation or pending what do you call it when you no longer support it? When Microsoft lets you know that no longer support
a deprecation notice.
Yeah, I guess so. I go ahead and I do that like within 30 days of closing down that particular app, and I refer them, just like NuGet packages, I refer them to the new mobile app, which is the platform that encompasses all of that. Would that be a viable strategy?
I mean, you could just build the build it so you don't have to do that. Who knows? I mean, the app itself might, once you get into it, the thing is you don't know what you're going to learn, and that's the idea of it. It's like, oh well, I started as this, but then I realized talking to customers and things that this is really what their pain points are. So you could end up in a place where the app looks nothing like what you envisioned, but then it's very useful because you have real people saying, "Yep, this worked, this didn't work, but I'm willing to stick with you."
Yeah. So let's take your argument. I value your feedback, and I'm not trying to argue. I'm not trying to be right. I'm not. Right. I think I can learn from this. Leadership for the iPhone, aka Steve Jobs, I don't think they had a minimal viable product, because the iPhone is a complex piece of machinery. Yes, every product or every platform has versions. Version 1 doesn't necessarily mean minimal viable. Version 1 means this is what we have, and we'll probably get reviews on how it performed and what can be improved. That's not the same thing as an MVP, or is it? Because they went through. I'm pretty sure
MVP.
I'm pretty well. Oh, you're talking about the iPod Touch?
Well, the iPhone itself, there was a minimal version. It's not like they went and built the current version of iPhone first.
No, but that's every product and that's every car. Version 1, according to your argument, version 1 of the very first version of any product is an MVP.
Yeah,
is that fair?
Well, the question is how minimal, but I think minimal is best, because what your goal isn't to necessarily ship the world at first. It's to get feedback loops, because feedback loops build what features are valuable rather than what we imagine are valuable. I mean, that's the whole, like, whenever you're in any sort of startup, like, at all, that's everything is talked about in terms of minimal.
Well, Starship isn't an MVP because it's not a product that is making money. It's not. It's a product that is consuming revenue for understanding how that product can be improved so that when it goes live, that it does make money. I don't know. I think I'm talking in circles, but I'm trying to use counter arguments of you have to sometimes build something that's potentially large and monolithic just because there's no MVP version of it that's consumable for a user. I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, it's just what I've seen with these things is it's like you do need it. Minimum viable doesn't mean like you throw out every feature to start or anything like that, and it's like just literally a button you click, yes, I did that. Like it's minimum valuable too. It's you have to have a value proposition and something that is minimally useful.
All right, so what do you think is the MVP? Just a checklist?
I don't know. I mean, you tell me, but I think if you want to be successful, I think that you want to find somebody to build it for that isn't you, like that is actively wanting to sell their knowledge or whatever they're doing, and say, I'm building a platform, you're going to be the first one on it, I'm going to build it exactly like this until we make you money, and then I'm going to make money off of the transaction fees or whatever. You just go hard in solving one person's problem, and if you solve that well, or two, or if you can find a cohort of people, that's great, and have them in your thing. But you gotta sell. And I think you could do that, though. Like, I think that's one edge you have over a lot of people, is you're not afraid to go up and talk to people and be like, hey, I want you to try this thing, you know?
Yeah,
I'm trying
to convince YouTube influencers via comments, hey, I want to demo something. I was in Toronto and I was trying to track down this guy. It's like, hey, I'm in Toronto for the next 4 days. I would like to meet up with you and demo something that I think you could find is useful, and we could collaborate on it. He never replied.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is with sales, right? Is you're going to get a lot of cold no's and stuff like that.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm going to produce a series of short videos on what I have. They have to be short because there's not that much there.
Yeah, and the thing is an MVP can be literally it. It's just got to have enough to get people in the door. And it doesn't even have to be a physical. Like people sell ideas for things with minimum MVPs, like it or prototypes, right? They sell it with prototypes. I mean, companies I've worked for that has happened. We start building something, and they go out and they find people and they sell the prototype. Like, this is what we're thinking of doing. Would you pay for this?
What are you building? Enough about me. I think I could send them every time.
What am I building? I should start building something, but see, I've got the opposite problem of you which is like, I don't like bothering people. Like it goes against bothering people. It goes against like every grain in my body, which probably makes me in the 90% of people, right? It's not something I find.
You don't have to bother people to tinker and toy around and just experiment. Like, why can't you just build something as an experiment and then figure out where it takes you? That's what
I
NASA
built
does.
a lot of experiments. I had like 7 Claudes running the other night on my other machine, being like, build me a prototype of this game. Build me a prototype of this game. And then I just went and played. I'm like, yeah, I can't see this being a thing, or I can't see this being a thing, or all of that kind of stuff. Like, you can iterate really fast with AI for prototypes. So that helps a lot. But I just, what do I want to focus on for forever? I don't know. But I don't know. I feel like I said, it's not the way that AI is going to replace us, but the move towards what I think will happen is a spec-driven setup where we develop a layer over coding that's plain English, right?
Mhm.
And that scares the shit out of me because I'm such a shitty reader. Like, I can't read a spec and know that it's right. Like, I can't grok information that way. I've tried. I wish I was a reader. Maybe it's just something you have to practice at, but like, my mind just goes like, and it scares the shit out of me because that's where we're moving, and I'm going to be left behind. And it's because I'm defective with that thing. I don't have the same problem with code, although reading code I do, but like, as long as I can comprehend what architecture you're in and know, like, oh, this is just a feature within that architecture, it's pretty easy to get up to speed on things as I need to get up to speed on them. But reading giant specs and grokking what the impact is and thinking through it, that flow isn't going to work for me. It's not. So I don't know. I don't know what my future holds. I'm looking at it with, I'm still very excited about AI itself, but I'm not excited where the industry is moving with the tooling. And it's I don't know. Probably be better to be on the other side of it and be in the, like, an entrepreneurial space and find something to build. But then you run into the other thing which is the communications with people and the willingness to not bother people, but try to sell to people. Just never been much of a sales person.
I mean, neither am I. But if
You're
I feel
great,
like,
man. You could be in sales. You could be you could do sales.
no, I have to believe in what
You
I'm
make
doing.
hella commissions. Yeah.
Well, remember, I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness. I was forced as
Yeah.
a child to knock on people's doors.
Yeah. See, for me, it's like knocking on people's doors. Like, I don't even want to bother the pizza deliver person. Like,
Yeah.
don't bring me a pizza because I'm scared to bother you about bringing me a
You
pizza.
say that, but you had a podcast.
Yeah. That was definitely out of my comfort zone stuff. And I did cold outreach, and I don't know, there's something where you're doing cold outreach online. It's a little different. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I sell myself short, but I just, maybe it's the thing is I haven't found something I believe in yet. Like, I don't believe that this will be valuable or that'll be valuable.
So let me.
I tried doing this with a thing that I had called Write Freely, which is supposed to be like a writing tool. You know, back when it wouldn't have been super easy to build that in a day, but which is just literally like a free writing tool. But I did outreach to some people, and it was, weird. But
I'm considering getting this.
no Gamlord today. So what is this now? It's an N6 by Oppo. Who makes Oppo? Is that a ooh, did he scratch it right away? Dang. Oh no, he's trying to scratch it. He's testing it. Ooh.
Why is this thing so loud?
I don't hear it at all, so I'm fine. Is Oppo?
Oh, that's why. Where's the volume
European?
at? Sorry, my thing is so loud, and I don't see the volume on here. Oh, it's over here. It's full blast. That's why I couldn't
Oh,
hear
it's
you.
Chinese. That's why.
Yeah, so now they have phones that fold out into tablets now. So it's like a $2,000 phone. I'm trying to hold off into the iPhone Ultra, but
Oof. He messed that up. It's just a big stress test. Or he's trying to say it wasn't glass, even though they say it's glass. I'm trying to like scroll
I
it
think
for you.
I don't know. Well, yeah. I mean, it looks like he literally bought it to just destroy it. I don't know. It's because I'm building. Remember, I just started doing Maui development. You know that, right? So
It's just another flavor of XAML, though, right? It's just slightly different.
it is. It's very .NET Core-ish with the program.cs file, and it forces you to do dependency injection. Well, it doesn't force you, but you're highly constrained to do .NET's way of dependency injection versus hand rolling it yourself, which is what I usually do.
Yeah, which is the same as ASP.NET Core. I mean, it just said dependency injection's a thing, and people use it. Should be built in. Makes sense to be built into that framework.
Yeah, so I was considering. I want to hold out for the iPhone Ultra, but yeah, I'm interested in these foldables because I want to know how the apps that I'm building is going to render on these form factors. I mean, I like the concept. You see a crease right here. I like the concept. But I just bought my phone. Have you seen my phone?
Yeah, you gotta flip. Yeah, I gotta buy a new phone here soon. My battery charging sucks again.
How long you had your phone for?
2 years and 3 months, something like that, maybe. So I bought it in 24. So maybe it's only so I bought it in 24. Yeah, it was an S23, and it was right before the S24s came out, but the S24s weren't out yet, and I had to my phone had went to the bottom of a lake, so I had to get a new one that next day, and I ended up getting a 23, which sucks, but so I'm a couple years behind. But yeah, I don't know. I gotta buy my next one here soon. I think probably trade it in for just a newer Samsung because Samsung trade-ins are pretty good. You can get into a cheap phone pretty quickly. Or another version of the same thing for relatively cheap. As long as you just keep going with the same Samsung line or whatever, trade-ins. Or maybe it's an AT&T thing. I don't know. I hate AT&T though. I wish I would have never changed from Verizon, but yeah, this group thing where it made sense, but the network for AT&T sucks where I am at.
Oh, on your
Verizon was good.
reservation.
Yeah. Could have been one. The lake was bigger, maybe. It's behind me. But anyhow.
Yeah, I guess I should get rid of the word. So there's no Gamlore.
I know. Yeah, where's Gamlore to tell us things straight? So
Well,
I don't know. What should I build, man? You give me candid feedback. What do I need to do? What should I be doing?
Outside of my biased feedback, or outside of my bias.
I'll give you my biased. I give you my biased feeds.
No, I want you to build the web application, but outside of that, so you still run?
I'm thinking about starting up here again. I was supposed to be training for Grandma's marathon, which is in a month and a half, but it's the weekend that my son's going to be doing his black belt thing. So that was a no-go after I bought it. So I got to see if somebody wants to take my slot still. I've been meaning to do that, but I'm just like,
I think.
yeah. I need to
you-
probably do it now, actually, because there's limited time left where you can do transfers, I think.
I think you should build some tool in the wearables area, whether it's a watch or some smart glasses.
Yeah. I don't know. Everything I
for
look
running-
at, I'm just not
For running,
interested
people
in.
have watches, so I think people can look at their heart rate and their vitals by just looking at their watch. Glasses, they have different form factors of glasses, but the normal looking glasses, it doesn't seem like they can do too much, but just display simple text for what you're looking at. There's no like crazy like user experience of showing anything more than just captions.
Yeah, I don't think I could compete with Meta's resources on wearables or Garmin's or anything like that. I don't even have I don't have any of that technical ability.
Yeah, but I mean, like the SDKs are out there already. There's Android XR.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I don't know. You know what I want to do is I want to do a Steak and Shake franchise in Minnesota.
No, I'm going to use you as a guinea pig to create a standard operating procedure for setting up an ice house for ice fishing or whatever the terminology is. Is it called ice house?
Ice house, fish house, ice shack, shanty, camper. Like there's a million names. So
Yeah,
depends on what you have going on. Skid
like
out.
have you gone all the way out to the ice to set up and then realize you forgot something or you increased the risk because you just didn't know and your experience?
Yeah, once you do it once or twice, it's like you know what to bring. But I mean, and you forget stuff for sure. But I usually make lists, like you said. And I do that for camping too. I mean, I make lists of, all right, here's what I need to get done today to get going. So, but actually, I might cut it short. I have to hit the bathroom. So
yeah. All right, it's been real. Thanks for the feedback. See
Yep.
you.
All right. Yep. See you. Bye.
Bye.